Hey there. So I wanted to talk to you today about work-life balance. I hear a lot of people that are struggling with work-life balance right now and having a hard time squeezing in all the things that they want into their personal life after work on nights and weekends. And it can be a challenge. It can be a challenge for a lot of people because the demands of their career can feel like it's consuming all of their time and energy, and there's not enough space left for the things that they want to have in their life. And it can often feel like the things are adding on your to-do list faster than you can cross them off. It can lead to a lot of problems in your life. You know, it can cause health problems if you don't get the adequate time to take care of your health and well-being. It can lead to problems in your relationships. It can also lead to feeling unsettled or unfulfilled, like you're not fulfilling your purpose or living up to your potential, and all sorts of problems. You know, also like feelings of anxiety or overwhelm, feeling like you can't catch your breath. If you don't address it, it really can lead to significant issues, to mental health problems, and you know, a whole host of things that we don't want it to get to that point. So it's important to address this issue of work-life balance. How do you have a rich, engaging life while progressing in your career or building the business or organization that you want to continue building? It's a problem that needs to be understood and examined. So I wanted to share with you one thing today that might help you improve your work-life balance, and create more synergy between the two, so that you're not constantly having to pull from one to give to the other. So what I wanted to share with you, the first insight, is that even the term work-life balance implies a certain model of thinking that is either or thinking. You know, it's either this or that. It's I can either have the red car or the blue car. I can either have a rich and fulfilling life, or I can have a successful career. And this idea that work and life are these two distinct things means that we create scenarios or settle for scenarios where they are separate from each other, and one is pulling from the other. So if we want more life, we have to take away from work, and then if we want to achieve more in our career, we have to pull away from our life. And you know, this model of thinking affects how we make our decisions, how we direct our career path, how we allocate our time and energy, all sorts of things. And so I wanted to emphasize the importance of shifting away from this either or thinking to and thinking. Now, with and thinking, we start thinking about, how could I create this and that? How could I have both of the things that I want? What would it take? So, you know, in this case, what would it take to have a career that I love and also get to do the things that I want in my personal life? Or how could I have a career that gives me the things that I want, so that I can have less of a need to squeeze in all the other things after work, because I'll be energized and fulfilled from my work. So there's a shift in thinking that can alter the way we perceive the situation and open our minds to new possibilities that maybe we didn't see before. You know, like and to further emphasize this point of like we either or thinking limiting our view, you know, nobody ever says, I need to improve my food-water balance, or I want to improve my oxygen to sunlight ratio. You know, it would be absurd for somebody to think of needing to balance out those things or trade off one for the other. You know, do you drink less water so that you can have more food? Do you trade off your your exercise for your sunlight. I mean, the notion of trading one versus the other seems absurd in those situations, right? Because you obviously need both. Well, the same thing applies for work and career. We need both. And if we find ourselves in a situation where one is taken away from the other, we have to seriously reevaluate what is the real problem going on here. You know, work-life balance is the top layer, surface level issue, but underneath that, there may be something else happening. You know, for some people, it may mean that you are ready to make a shift in your career. Like you have grown and evolved to a point where you're no longer getting the things out of your career that you really want. And so maybe it's a sign that it's time to evaluate what is your next career move. Or it may mean that you need to work on prioritizing things in your personal life more highly. You know, valuing yourself and your personal time as highly as you value your career. I know a lot of us can devote so much of ourselves to our career and our passion and the thing that we do that we sacrifice a lot of our own needs and wants. A lot of times in a selfless drive to give to others. But the problem with that is that we can only do that for so long before we burn out. And if we burn out, we don't have much left to give. So really the most sustainable way to go about it, the way where we can give the most, have the maximum impact, is for us to also take care of ourselves and create the energy flow back coming back to us to match what we're putting out there. So I just want to give you this quick tip. I don't want this video to be super long, but start to think about what would it take for me to have a better work-life synergy instead of battling with work-life balance. If we think about work-life synergy, we think about how can these two things come together and complement each other, and how can I achieve a better relationship between those two, rather than having to always pull from one to give to the other. So so that's something to consider. And then also, how are you prioritizing your own needs, your own the other areas of your life, and what if you bump those up on the priority level? A lot of times we can feel like doing that means we have to take a hit in our career, but I would question whether that's true, because a lot of the time that is a lot of fear-based thinking that shrinks our perspective and makes us feel like if we go do this one thing, then all these other things are going to fall apart. So just a few things to think about. If you want to talk about this more, feel free to reach out. I'd be happy to have a conversation to talk about how you can apply this into your life and really get to the root of the issue. Because again, the work-life balance is the top level issue, but really underneath there may be other things happening that once you address those, it can instantaneously improve your work-life balance. So hope this is helpful. Let me know if you want to chat about it, and hope you're having a great day. Talk to you soon.